Hi everyone. I hope this is recording. I'm a little bit challenged when it comes to technology, so fingers crossed that this is actually recording for us. And you guys can listen to it back later. So welcome. Hi. Hopefully you guys all know by now. I'm Sophie, and as well as myself and Thomas, as well as Thomas and myself, where I'm one of the coaches for the UVC over the next 10 weeks. So first of all, welcome Tribe. I wanted to record and send out a video just to kind of get you guys a little bit motivated on the challenge before we begin. I'll just kind of run over a few little principles that I feel are essential before going into any type of habit change work when we feel like there's a little bit of pressure coming up. We might feel nervous, and I just wanted to run through some things that hopefully help lighten the feeling a little bit to ensure that you guys don't feel so overwhelmed, and just make the challenge a little bit more easier to sort of transition through. So like I said, today, it's a little bit of an orientation about what's to happen over the next 10 weeks. And, just kind of highlighting potentially some challenges that you guys might come up against, and making sure that you feel like you're well prepared for all of that to happen. And, maybe this is your first time doing something like this, where you've set yourself a goal and you're determined to work towards it. But sometimes we can be unprepared for what is to come in between now and the end result. So, it's something that doesn't always feel light for everybody. It's hard when we are trying to detach from habits that we're so used to having, and that's fine too. The first step forward is actually just recognizing habits that you do want to move away from, and things that you want to kind of introduce into your life instead. I don't know why my face is so yellow, but anyway. Okay, so I wanted to go over 3 principles today that hopefully will help you guys stay a little bit focused during this time, and just to help you stay grounded. So it's really important that we know that whenever you're having a moment or not feeling like you're motivated in the next 10 weeks, try and relate back to these 3 principles to try and get your headspace back in the game, hopefully. So the first one is just self-knowledge and self-awareness, self-acknowledgement or self-awareness. And because the reason why I wanted to bring this up is that we're all individuals, and we all have individual bodies and individual lives and individual beliefs, habits, values. So we're all ridiculously, beautifully unique in that way. And there are always going to be questions that come up, is this food good for me, or such and such is eating it, so should I be eating the same thing? And I just want you to acknowledge the fact that you are all individual and you are all each on your own journey. And I encourage you to just look at this as, rather than comparison against other people, more of a self-experiment around how things actually come up inside of you when you try different things. So perhaps, I encourage you to ask a question about how it feels when you are sort of looking at certain foods, because obviously it is, at the end of the day, a strength and weight loss challenge, and also a mindset challenge. So the topic of food is going to be quite big all throughout the 10 weeks. And I know that sometimes we feel like we can freak ourselves out about foods that we're actually putting into our bodies, and whether we should or we shouldn't. So, at the beginning, just kind of experiment a little bit and have a little bit of a play around an emotion or a feeling, or how it actually processes or digests in your body, as opposed to whether it's a good or bad food and whether you should be having it or not having it. Because more often than not, our bodies will tell us whether it's right, whether it's good for us or not good for us, by the way it actually makes us feel. Does it light you up? Does it make you feel heavy, tired? Does it give you energy? Because foods, at the end of the day, the purpose of them is to actually give us energy from a cellular level and help our body regenerate, and from a cellular level. So rather looking at them from right or wrong at this point, it's just about thinking how they can actually be benefit to you. You know, some people might need to at the start remove, you know, trialing out to remove gluten, soy products, corn, dairy, just trying to experiment around those well-recognized nutrients or types of foods that we know can kind of disrupt our tummies, and just seeing how it makes you feel. You know, your body might thrive better with more protein, with more fats, with more carbohydrates. So this is all just about being mindful around from an energy level. Hopefully that makes sense. And something also that's really important is to have support. And the first thing is that, you know, although we do want to support each other here, and this is our, you know, the Facebook group where we can do that. If you want to take it one step further, I invite you guys to just buddy up with somebody. I think there's you know, and even if there's 3 of you in the group, and this is about just allowing yourself to be even more motivated outside the Facebook groups and in the classes by buddying up with somebody to kind of help you stay accountable for every single step of the journey. And whether that means for you a morning check-in, an evening check-in, just to see how you guys are going throughout the day, it might be a really good opportunity just to really stay focused so that you guys don't lose sight of why you said yes in the first place, because we all need that support. So yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea if you guys kind of reach out to one another and just constantly keep that chat going and support network happening. Also, it can sometimes come down to just sort of offering that hand of support with your accountability buddy. If you go, something that you might want to take out of your day might be coffee. You might want to reduce coffee or reduce alcohol, and you could be in a situation where you're thinking, I really want this coffee, and that's when your accountability buddy comes up. It's kind of like, reach out to them, text, message, so like however you guys are in contact, and so that you know somebody else is there to support you on that. Cool. Okay, so second principle for the challenge is one of the aspirations that coaches have, or have you all, is that, sorry, one of the aspirations that we have for you all, rather, is that this experience should be as easy as possible. So easy is when we get into something like this, that the mind, so let me rephrase that. Sometimes when we get ourselves into challenges, the mind kind of likes to overcomplicate it. And it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. And we kind of want to make a situation more complex than what it really is. And our minds get caught up in, you know, all of these details around organization, timing, and things like that. And it kind of takes it away from the bigger picture of what you actually want to achieve and what you're doing right now in that moment. So one of the things that I want to go back to when you're feeling like this and you're feeling really overwhelmed and not knowing where to start is ask yourself the question of, how can I make this easier? and or how can I simplify this even better? You might not have the answer. Obviously, we always feel like we won't have the answer within ourselves, but I just challenge you to potentially ask it, and who knows, sit with it and something might come up. Sometimes when we just step back and think for a moment around a situation rather than kind of letting it spiral further and further and further along on this, heavy sort of path where we're like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Just take a breath and step back and ask yourself, how can this get better? Or how can this get easier? What can I do to simplify this? Is it around shifting up schedules? Is it around not complicating your food so much? Is it around just changing one little thing at a time as opposed to a whole gazillion things that you wanted to actually shift in your world? So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I think that is 100% a natural feeling, especially when you're doing something new. But I just invite you to try and make it as simple as possible. And hopefully we will be here on that journey to help you guys do that as well. So, obviously we all know what healthy eating is, and we all know that exercise is good for us. And in this program, we've designed it so that, you move into a mindset so that both become easy and natural, and a natural sort of part of your life. And the way you can help yourself make this transformation easier, as well as the support of us, is to ask yourself, what are the easy choices I can make right now in that moment? Without thinking too far in the future, it's just basically simply making a minor alteration to your morning ritual. Is that just making it as simple as you possibly can for that particular moment? Is something that's going to make your day, set yourself up for a healthier day, and to make a better choice in the morning, is to include water in your morning ritual. Adding some lemon, brushing your teeth after it. And then, what can you do for lunch? The next step is lunch. Without kind of overcomplicate the situation, is what is the healthiest choice you can make next for yourself during that day? And just kind of moving forward in those little baby steps without thinking too far forward, because eventually these little choices that you make eventually just become a part of your day without you even realizing it. And it's all about just, taking each moment one at a time. So I understand that, everyone is at different stages of their journey. So some may be really ready to let go of toxic things in their life that they no longer want to hold on to, whether that be, like emotional eating, negative thoughts, having coffee in the morning, as simple as that, or having too much alcohol on the weekend, and all, and letting go of all of that all at once. Just might be too stressful for your body. So it could be just as simple as reducing your caffeine intake, or maybe just reducing alcohol consumption to once or twice a week. Whatever feels perfect for you is absolutely perfect. And it's just about being happy with the choices that you make. And please do not judge yourself, because we just kind of, we send ourselves stress through signals in the body, and that just gets trapped as emotional energy, and that is no good. We do not want that. We want peace. Many of us may be familiar with the harmful effects of stress, and that what it can cause on the body. So we do want to kind of highlight that at the beginning, and just want to work towards eliminating stress in every single area of our life as much as we possibly can. So this is why it's important to just not overwhelm yourself with so much, and just try and have fun with it, because we just don't want to cause this. It's all about fun. So it's so that it's less stressful for me, for you. Just like I said, choose whatever feels light. With obviously the point being is not to choose anything at all. It's to choose something that you know you can make a change to, and that can obviously help you, your emotions or your critter brain, what your belief system is or your values. The smaller it is at the start, the bigger it can eventually get, and the less fearful your mind is going to be to let go of something. And the other question that I wanted to sort of give to you guys to ask yourself is, one, obviously, is how can I make this easier? And the other one is, how can I have fun with this? You know, it's all about reframing the situation rather than, you know, bringing ourselves into a stressful environment. We often have emotional attachment to things, and we might feel like, oh, I can't give up my coffee. There's no way I can give up my coffee or my alcohol. I rely on it too much. But if we reframe it around, well, what else can I actually have, and how can I have fun with not having the things that I want to try and eliminate from my lifestyle for now? And if that's like trialing new things that you have seen before but never really had the courage to actually try it, like, you know, for me it would be lion's mane, which is a mushroom drink, turmeric lattes, high quality cacao, beetroot lattes are always delicious. Little things like that you can kind of find in the health food store that you've never really been sort of confident or in that frame of mind to try before, but this is the opportunity to give it a go. Why not? What could you have to lose? It could be really fun. You could be like, holy crap, I love beetroot lattes. They are my new best friend. Mushroom drinks are super great. They're really good for brain health. And they're pretty good. They actually are pretty nice. And I just want to point out that there will be, you know, obviously aspects of this that don't feel good, because change does sometimes make us feel uncomfortable. And some situations like this might bring up feelings of vulnerability, where we feel doubt in ourselves, and you may question yourself whether or not you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing it. So again, I invite you to just reflect on how you can make the next step a little bit more fun and connect back to your why in this point, because doing that just means that you know that you're making the right choice, and it has a really solid, strong purpose to it. So, you know, how can I have fun with this, and how can I make it much easier? And I trust me, guys, you guys will have the answer, because all we need to do realistically is just have a conversation with ourselves. Because one of the things that we don't do enough is talk to this, you know, talk to us. We look for external validation all the time around, you know, this person needs to have the answers. You tell me what to do. Realistically, we do have it inside of us. We've known it all along. We know what to do. And you know, this 10 weeks gives you that opportunity to really get to know yourself on a whole new level, about getting curious with who you actually really are and what you're actually really capable of. So hopefully you resonate really well with the 3 principles that I want you guys to keep coming back to. And don't worry, every couple of weeks we will be doing some coaching calls, which hopefully will shed some light around what's happening up here as we're going through this amazing change. But the team will always be there in the Facebook group if you guys ever need any questions. And set yourselves up with some accountability buddies, as well as us are going to be there. But overall, I know you guys are going to do an amazing job throughout this next 10 weeks. And I really am excited to see all of those changes occur in you. I'm in the process of setting up some one-on-one discovery sessions. If I haven't been able to contact you and you do want to set one up, please reach out to me, and we'll set aside some time. So getting through those at the moment. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the week. And our first coaching call will be this Saturday, which will be around self-sabotage, which is really exciting, and some really powerful insights around what's happening in our minds whilst we're going through changes. So awesome work, crew. You got through the first week? Yeah. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon, all around. Okay, bye.